G'day everyone, I'm AzureBlaze, and welcome back to another, probably a little bit shorter, my thoughts on video, because this time it's going to be on the DragXDrive Global Jam, which happened like a couple of days ago, from when this video came out. This video is literally coming out like the day before the game comes out, which I think is funny. However, yeah, I've got some notes on the Global Jam because I wanted to play it because I wasn't terribly interested in buying the game. I think I'm slightly more interested in buying the game now. However, a lot of the problems I did have do persist, despite the fact that I have now played it. Therefore, yeah, I'll go into it though. The first thing I want to say about this game... Oh, actually, first things first. Since I'm reading simply off notes, I'm going to be jumping around again, and I apologize for that. It's not scripted, like a lot of the bigger My Thoughts on videos. Apologies if I'm jumping around a bit. However, yeah, the first thing I want to say is you need a lot of space to play this game. At least I found, because you're moving your arms around a lot of the time and stuff like that. And I ended up a couple of times, a bit more than a couple of times, probably about 5 or 6 times I accidentally hit the Switch. Not very hard, the Switch is okay, because I had the Switch down in front of me, and then I had the Joy-Cons off separately, because I don't really have a... My TV's not really in a position where I can like set it up and look directly towards it while playing. It would make it a little bit awkward, I think. Therefore, yeah, I haven't got it set up to do that. Therefore, I had the Switch down in front of me. I ended up having to put the Switch like way further away from me because I kept accidentally almost hitting it, or hitting it in some cases, like when I was moving my arms back and forth and all that sort of thing. And it's really tiring as well, actually, this game. Moving your arms back and forth a lot, it is tiring. It gives your arms a good workout. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, and yeah, it's not the best on your hands, which, I mean, I kind of could tell, and I've seen other people say it, like, from before this game and all that sort of thing. Like, these mice, well, they're fun. It's like a fun little novelty. They aren't set up the best for ergonomics on your hand, and I actually want to see if I can find some special, like, I don't know, like a special grip that can go on it or something at one point. Or when the Switch has been out for a little bit longer, see what grips and stuff come out to make the mouse a little bit more palatable, I guess, is the next thing. Yeah, and I mean, getting into the game, I guess, the movement itself doesn't feel as fast as it looks through the trailers and stuff like that, or like on straightaway specifically, because like you start off in a straightaway, there's a lot of tutorial in this game. Like the tutorial went on for ages. It was actually getting really quite frustrating. However, once you get past that, yeah, you go into the park and all that sort of thing. However, yeah, the movement, it doesn't feel as fast as it looks like on straightaways and stuff like that. And however, like in the games themselves, like playing the basketball games, it is pretty frantic and fast paced, because I think the court's pretty small and like there's a lot of people running around and stuff like that. Not as many though. Like having 3v3 doesn't make it feel overcrowded, which is neat. Yeah, I guess one of the things I got in my notes here, which is probably out of place really a lot, is when you're passing to people, I like that they can be off screen and you can pass it to them. That's funny. Like you could be looking a different direction and pass it to them. There's a surprising level of customization, like it seems. I like that. Like it's not like an overblowing amount of customization. However, there is a surprising amount for the 3 characters, and like you've got like 4 different things you can customize and all that sort of thing, and I can make myself blue and orange, and that's what mattered to me. And then I'm assuming more of the helmets that unlock later down the line, or you can get into the game, there's going to be some more differences in them, because all there is at the moment is some pretty basic ones. I don't know, it is pretty neat. You get rewards for doing specific things in the park area. The whole park area is pretty neat. It is very bland though. To be fair, the whole thing wasn't opened up when I was in there. The only one of like the challenges you could do was like this speed one for going literally in a straight line for 3 seconds, 3.5, 4 seconds or something like that. 5 seconds, I don't know. Yeah, you go in a straight line for that, and whoever does it fastest, you get these rings. And whenever you're in the park, like only one person can have one of the rings each at a time. You can have multiple rings, however, there's only like each ring is for a specific task, and only one person can have those rings at a time. I think that's neat. It's a funny little competitive thing. For a lot of the time I managed to have 2. I had the speed challenge one, and I had the boss one, I think it is. And I think that's the one for 3 pointers. I might be wrong though. Yeah, I did have that. That's fun. I think it'd be hilarious to like see the entire hand on the characters like filled with rings if you end up being the best of everything. That'd be hilarious. I am a little bit confused about the classes. Simply with their stats and everything, I chose the guard class because it was the quickest. I tend to be like being a lot of the quickest stuff and like that. It didn't seem any quicker at all. Whether it simply means it's quicker that way or maybe he's quicker to do moves or something like that, I have no idea. A lot of people were choosing like the big one, which I can't remember the name of, and that seemed to be very overpowered from my initial playing. However, it might be different once people will learn how to use them and all that sort of thing. I did win a fair amount of games, which is nice. Yeah, there's like tricks you can do as well. They're a lot more tricky to pull off than the normal moves. They can be satisfying though when pulled off. It's got like a really nice feel to it, like when you like manage to go up a wall and like slam dunk a ball in or something like that. Yeah, I do like that. And it has like the overall game does have the same frantic feel as something like Rocket League and stuff like, which is really nice. However, like sometimes the controls can feel a little bit unresponsive, or sometimes on the flip side, oversensitive. Like sometimes like I want to do little micro movements and I like slightly move the mouse and then it's like flies off the way I did it. I'm like, stop, please stop. Holding down the brakes and everything to try to stop myself and everything like that. And then on the other hand, like I might want to do like a nice big push up or something like that. Therefore I do it along my, because I've got probably the best I have like the best setup, like the best case scenario for this type of game. Like I have a really big mouse mat and I have them down on that, and like I had the switch over in the front and all that sort of thing. Therefore I had a lot of space to move my arms up in front and try not hit the switch. And there I tried to do the nice long strokes that they talk about doing in the tutorial, and sometimes it does a little nudge and I'm like it's a bit frustrating. Yeah, for the most part, it controls alright. However, yeah, sometimes it does feel either a bit unresponsive or, as I said, way oversensitive in some cases. And for online features, I guess, it does lack a lot of online options, like a lot of other Nintendo games, which is really frustrating and upsetting. I think like some custom modes, or being able to customize the modes, making custom games, like in Halo, I guess, is my first thing to go to. I feel like that'd be really fun. Something I always liked in the Dirt games, or at least Dirt 3 only specifically, is like there's an infection mode. Dirt 5 has something similar, however it's not the same. Dirt 3 has like this infection mode and you can go around. I feel like this game would like really benefit from something like that, where you can like, maybe the infected person has like a ball and you can like throw it at other people and the others are like trying to run away as much as they can. I think that'd be hilarious. Yeah, something like that. And like being able to make your own fun with it, considering there's not as many options there, would be really good. And I guess overall the biggest problem with the game is it's bland. Like it's very bland. It lacks a lot of personality, and like especially that Nintendo personality. I really wish there was more. Something I was thinking of maybe would be like, it seems to want to go for this like almost like gang style with its music and stuff like that, and then some of the effects. Like, it's almost like gang basketball, I guess, I don't know. I don't know, I was thinking maybe something more towards, like, if it had a style similar to that of, like, the Sega game that I can't remember the right name of right now for some reason. Jet Set Radio. Something similar to that, I think would be, like, neat. Like, that cel-shaded, like, low poly art style or something like that. I don't know. I simply think the way it looks at the moment is way too bland, way too grey. Yeah, I apologize about my bird as well. She's very frustrating day. I don't know why she's being like this. Yeah, that is the biggest problem though, is it's bland, like I sort of saw in the trailers and everything like that. However, I did have fun, and that's the main thing. It's only going to be $30 Australian, like on the eShop, which is fairly cheap for a game here. That's literally like a quarter of the price of Mario Kart World. Like, that's not a bad price. Therefore, I don't know whether I'm going to pick it up or not now, because I did have fun. Like, I did have fun with it. It's simply lacking a lot. I know the demo didn't have as much in it as the full game will, however, even then, I can't foresee the full game having like a massive amount more. I don't know. I did have fun, though. Therefore, I guess I can kind of recommend it, because it's fairly cheap. However, at the same time, if you lack mobility, it won't help at all. I kind of wish you could play the game with like the joysticks. I really want to play a version of this game where you can use the joysticks to do the same thing as you would do with the mouse moving up. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that is my thoughts on DragXDrive's global jam, and probably my thoughts on the game, because I don't think I'm going to buy it straight away if I do end up buying it. I mean, I might buy it at one point. As I said, I did have fun over here. Anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and enduring through my bird, who's being very frustrating. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I shall be back in the next one. Cheers, everyone.